Hear the rain outside? So in this video, I'm going to be making a pair of the drill necklace things that are in Gurren Lagann. Lagann. I don't watch it, so I don't know how to pronounce it. But I'm going to make the things, because that's what I do. Well, except for this thing. A buddy of mine made this thing because he had a lathe. I have to put the threads inside. So the plan, I'm going to thread these holes. I'd say tap, but then the comments be like, tap those holes. I'll thread these holes. Come on! And so these guys have a corresponding thread on the back. So at the end, we'll be able to... How easy does this go in? Yeah, that's very easy. At the end I lock it down that way. Another thing I need is an arm for holding the taps. I used to have one but it broke. And I don't do this often enough for it to be fresh in my head that I need a new one. When it's 3 a.m. in the morning and I'm on Amazon thinking, what stuff do I need? There's a thing that came to life. I'll have to fill that in. But that's the idea. If you're trying this yourself and getting very frustrated, it's probably just that you have crappy iron files. And even if you don't want to buy a super fancy iron file, this certainly isn't, a cheap new one will probably save you a lot of heartache as opposed to trying to use an old one whose teeth are all messed up. That one was pretty good right until the end. By necessity, the curve is a bit weird because it goes right to the tip. But let's see how many steps the actual one has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we got it. It's probably too dim for you guys to see. I'll do an outline of what I got with the thing. There. Now, the thought of carving that in is my least favourite part of this operation, but oh well. Aha! If you look at this guy, the pitch on the cartoon one is the anime one. Sorry, is actually I'm not going to say incorrect, but in order to break this drill to have like 5 lines up the side of it, the angle these are drawn with is too sharp. You'd have less than 5. You know, there'd be no way to line it up. I've had this problem before with the Alistair, the sword from Devil May Cry. The spiral drawn and the texture of the spiral drawn on the handle was incorrect, and I had to monkey around with it to get it to actually work in real life. So the answer in this case is yeah, those lines are just, it has to be less of an angle in real life, or rather on a 3-dimensional shape. A racist person might say that being Irish, I'm naturally good at spiral type designs. But of course, nobody's racist here. Whoa! Whoops. So I want to do the old rust them and then boil them trick with the bases to make them turn a darker colour. But in order to do that, I have to first spray them with stuff. Oh, come on. It would be better if I had gotten to do this before it got dark and rainy. I'll have to check back in on these tomorrow, see how they're doing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a brass brush and some heat to make the drill part brass colored or brass coated. Normally, lots of people, when I do the other type of brass coating where it actually melted on the surface, people say, oh, you should have done this, it's way easier. It is way easier, but it results in a way thinner coat of brass. So if the part's going to face any actual abuse, it's not so great. The fluorescent light is doing something odd. It's the colour of the light. I'll film it again in daylight, but that's the idea. It's easier to see the difference when you film them beside each other. I'm going to do the second one now. So the hydrogen peroxide vinegar stuff didn't work at all. I think what it was, actually I don't know, I'm just shooting out of my arse. Either it's too cold, because it is actually cold and dreary. The hydrogen peroxide wasn't powerful enough. Although I think it was the same mix I used last time, but I remember one time I had the stuff they use in hairdressers places that's actually twice as strong as what you can buy in the store. And maybe that's what I used before, but I can't quite remember. Or, the most interesting theory I have is the threaded bar on these is zinced. And I wonder did the zinc act as a sacrificial thing like it does on ship hulls. Do you ever see on a ship hull you have like a big zinc bullet thing bolted to the side of a ship hull, and the idea is it makes the ship hull rust slower? Like, I didn't think that didn't occur to me at all, because this is just a small piece of threaded rod. But think of the size of those bullets compared to a ship hull. Like the big zinc lump you bolt to the side of the ship hull is only like 4 inches long versus the size of the ship hull. So this might have been enough to screw up that rusting process. It had a little bit of rust, but it came right off when I used a piece of Scotch-Brite, so who knows? So what I'm going to do instead of the rust boiling stuff is heat them up and do the WD-40 and steel wire brush drill thing, which will be, it's a slightly different colour. It's not like dark grey, it's more of a dark navy colour, which I think it actually is in some of the pictures I've seen of it. So it'll be fine. I would have preferred the other thing. It's I hate putting any heat at all into that tiny little delicate weld holding this thing on. But if I go slow, it should be fine. So that's the pair of them done. Now, I super duper don't like doing these little tiny delicate things for a bunch of reasons. I mean, I physically like making them, but all of you guys are going to assume they're cheap, which is not the case, and then my inbox will fill up with people wanting them. So this time I made, you'll notice there's 2 of them. One of these guys is going to the guy who successfully pestered me to make it. The other one is going up on eBay for an auction for Doctors Without Borders. The opening bid will be the price I would have to charge were I in the mood to make another one, which I won't be for a very, very long time. So, if you want one, follow the link in the description to the eBay auction, and you can buy this thing and make the world a little bit less awful. Win-win.